In Illustrator, to replace text, there is Find and Replace in the Edit menu. But what if you have 10 separate things to replace? Or 100? Or 1,000? You have to do each one by one. I have a script to make it easier. Find Replace from CSV. Make a spreadsheet of the changes and do them all. I'll show how. And stick around to the end when I show doing regular expressions. Illustrator can't, even one by one. I'll show the script in Windows. It works the same on macOS. Before using the script, you need a data file. Any spreadsheet program should do. The spreadsheet needs 2 columns, one for the text to find, another for the replacement. The first row is the header, the description of what each column is. I'll use Find and Change. These can be named anything you like. Which column is the text to find and which is the replacement are selected in the script interface. In the remaining rows, list the text to find in the Find column and the replacements in the Change column. I'll paste in a dozen pairs of text to find and change. In actual use, it can be many more. Of course, text to find and change can be numbers as well. Once the spreadsheet is ready, save it as comma-separated values, CSV. From Excel, click File, then Save As. Browse to where you want to save it and name it however you like. I'll use Find Change for the name. In the drop-down list Save As Type, select CSV UTF-8, delimited. I recommend UTF-8 so any Unicode characters are preserved. Click Save, and you're done. Now we're ready to use the script in Illustrator. I have an example document open. Some words are large to show up better when we replace them. To run the script, go to the File menu. Scripts. I already have the script installed in Illustrator. For help adding scripts to Illustrator, see the link in the description for another video that shows the steps. Select Find Replace from CSV. The first section is Data File. Delimiter is the character that separates columns. The default is a comma, normal in the United States. Some European countries use semicolon instead. Select whichever is used in your region of the world. Click the File button and navigate to the location of the CSV file. Select the file and click OK. The path to the file appears beside the button. Select the columns for Find and for Change. The next section is Options. By default, the script makes changes on hidden and locked layers. The next 2 options ignore either, if desired. If Confirm Each Change is enabled, the layer is made visible or unlocked to confirm the change. Otherwise, the change is made and the layer remains hidden or locked. Whole word ignores matches within words. For example, if disabled and searching for cat, the cat in category also matches. Next is Case Insensitive, meaning whether or not the letter case matches exactly. If disabled, matches occur only when the letter case is identical. Enabled, text matches even if the letter case is different. When Case Insensitive is enabled, another option is available. Keep capitalization. If the text found is capitalized, the change is also capitalized, even if the replacement text is not. This is useful for words that are normally not capitalized, but could appear at the beginning of a sentence. We'll see this in a bit. I'll start with the options Whole Word and Case Insensitive off to show their effect. The last option is Confirm Each Change. If disabled, the changes are made without seeing any. I recommend turning this on. Click OK to begin. Because we've asked to confirm changes, the first match is selected and a palette appears. The palette tells us the proposed change. This palette can be moved wherever you like, even to another display. What the buttons do should be clear. But not obvious is that OK All and Skip All do not refer to all changes. Each refers to the current row of the spreadsheet. I'll show this in a moment. This first match, we can see the effect of disabling the option Whole Word. This change wouldn't make sense because it's plural. So click Skip. This next match works. Click OK to make the change, and the next match is selected. To stop everything, click Cancel. I'll revert the document and start over. We'll run the script again, but this time, enable Whole Word. Notice that businesses didn't show up. Click OK All, and all matches to that row of the spreadsheet are done. Now the next row begins, changing Button Up to Finish. Click Skip All, and none are changed. And the next row begins. You get the idea. These changes are all case-sensitive. Let's cancel and revert. Run the script again, and this time enable Case Insensitive. But leave Keep Capitalization off to see the effect. Here we get a match at the beginning of a sentence. If the change is accepted, the sentence is no longer capitalized. We don't want that. I'll cancel and revert again. This time, enable Keep Capitalization. Notice the proposed change is capitalized and not capitalized when the matching text isn't. Continue making or skipping changes, and when done, the user is notified. Now for regular expressions. InDesign users also know this as GREP. I've made other scripts to find and change text, and separate scripts for GREP, but this time I wanted both in one script. So there had to be a way to tell the script when to match text and when to match a regular expression. I chose to wrap regular expressions in forward slashes, like how it's done in JavaScript. But this might change. I've already had a user suggest separate columns for text in GREP, which I had considered. In a future version of this script, I may implement that idea, and the slashes won't be needed. And maybe you're watching this in the future, and I have changed the script. Anyway, at the time of this video, it works wrapped in slashes. So in the text to find column, start with a slash, then the regular expression, and end with a slash. Here's an example. Some product codes I want to change. Each is 2 letters followed by a number. In the spreadsheet, I'll replace the rows with some regular expressions and replacements. For those familiar with regular expressions, it should be obvious what these do. I'll save the CSV file and run the script again. The 2 letters change to ZM, but it keeps the current digits. Now all the codes begin with ZM. This is just one example of what regular expressions can do. To learn more, search YouTube for regular expressions. You'll find plenty. Download the script and give it a try. See the link in the description. Like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe so you're notified of future videos. Any problem with the script or ideas for others, leave a comment. All my best scripts began with a user request. Let's hear yours. There are many more scripts and videos for them. Click the video or playlist on screen for more. Thank you for watching.